Taylor Person's about 215 pounds. Randall's in there at 157. And Tajay Teague is in there to fly. House underneath. Rising through contact. Pittman the miss and a slam. JoJo McGlaston. Shot clock at 2 now for Northern. And another block. Sellers in Pauga's face. House coast to coast. And one. Sellers showing the hops. Second chance for Tyler. It's a layup.
Back to the old fundamentals.
House wants 3 for the second time tonight.
Great
Sellers.
find.
Give it to him. 25 for Sean Sellers. Persons to Moses. And that'll count for Trey Moses. Mallers for 3. Rubber. Nobody boxed out the senior.
If you're a college basketball player and you're not fired up for this time of year, you are in the wrong business. Final game of the regular season as Ball State plays host to Northern Illinois with major postseason implications on the line. With that, we welcome you courtside here at Worthen Arena. Former Ball State point guard David Iha, Joel Godett, Noah Reed will be along here shortly. The long and short of it is this. A little bit on the line. It comes down today to who's going to play defense, and if you're Ball State, can you play defense at home? We said 2 very high-powered offenses, one wrench in that equation, Toledo without its leading scorer.
Turnovers really characterized that first half for both teams, but they hurt Bradley most.
Well, 12 turnovers for Bradley.
Was 4 of 5 from 3. That is not how things have really gone this year, though. Much more a first-half team than a second-half one. She took 2 years off. Her father had esophageal cancer, but back at it, back entertaining audiences across the country and across the globe. Really cool to have Red Panda in the house tonight.
Well, I tell you, Joe, I've seen a lot of halftime shows over the years. By far, she is one of the best, and folks definitely get their money's worth here today.
Yeah, I've tried to flip bowls on my head on a unicycle. Sorry, Mom. Let's talk about the first half. Marin Maric is back in off the bench. 4 straight double-doubles for him, and he can dish it out. But McCarty just can't finish for him.
That was a great pass by Maric, and you're right, Joe. You've got to finish that in close.
The amazing thing about that graphic, though, Northern Illinois, in its 6 losses, last 7 games, is allowing 22 points per game more than the rest of the season. And it's Sean Sellers dialing it up from deep. And it's coming from all over. 2s and 3s.
It is, and that was a great kick out by Kyle Maller and just a bad defensive effort by Northern.
Shots in close, not going down here for the Huskies. And again, the Cardinals getting out, pushing the pace. It's Sellers again. And a real quick timeout for Mark Montgomery. Transition 3s for a team that nailed 14 of them at Toledo.
And Joel, Sean Sellers is a guy that's 4th all-time in career three-point percentage. The first 3 from the top of the key, not a Husky within 8 feet of him, and that time losing Sellers in transition. And just like that, a quick 6-0 run for Ball State.
169 3s now for Sean Sellers. Tell you what, it's going to be fun watching those 2 guys next year, chasing that Jesse Berry record, 224 makes. They are both on pace to obliterate it. It's just going to be fun trying to figure out who will be the record holder at the end.
Yeah, both of these guys have just had stellar careers, and I have a feeling one of those 2 will be the record holder by the time they exit Ball State. And Joe, another key thing to watch, Ball State really wants to get out in transition. Hard to do when the Huskies are making baskets. That last McCarty missed, Ball State able to get out and run. If Ball State can get stops, that favors them getting out in transition.
Northern led by 5 coming out of the last media timeout. It's been a Cardinals run, mainly a Sean Sellers run since then. Ball with German, shot clock winding down, and the whistle is on the floor. We've got a push on Sean Sellers. Basketball gods giveth and taketh away.
Not a bad foul if you're Ball State. That was almost assuredly a score by Maric. But one of the focal points of the Cardinal defense was defending German on the pick and roll. And thus far, they've done a pretty good job keeping him out of the paint.
Outside, Armstead. And a weak side rebound by Highsmith. If Armstead wants to shoot 3s, that's something Ball State's comfortable letting him do. Like German, much better driver. And this will be a turnover and a backcourt touch for Armstead.
And that was one of Coach Montgomery's talking points before the game, saying, look, we've got to take better care of the basketball. Just a careless turnover that time by March.
Northern turns it over 13 times a game. Forces far more than that. 37th in the country defensively, forcing turnovers. So hopefully it's something it wants to get back, but you'd like to keep the margin as wide as possible. Midway through the first quarter here, Persons wanted his second three of the ball game. That's German running the lane at the top of the screen, now coming over on the curl. He has not touched the ball on the possession. And Mallers knocks it free from Bradley. Just 10 seconds to work with. It'll stay in Northern Illinois basketball.
Teague is going to come back in now, Joel, with those two fouls. Mallers goes out. Didn't get a lot of points in the stat sheet, but the little hustle plays, good job by Mallers off the bench. You know, it's ironic. In the first matchup against Northern, Tajay Teague picked up 4 fouls in 8 minutes.
James Whitford is comfortable letting his guys play with fouls, though. 7 to shoot. The drive is blocked. Second block for Ball State. House and now Moses.
A great example of defending German on the pick and roll and the help coming to protect the rim. That's the difference right now in this game as opposed to that first half of the first game.
Moses on the pick and roll. Defended on one side and scored on the other. This is an 8-1 Ball State run here. Bradley can shoot it. A little strong there. He's more than capable, only 26%, but not shy about putting it up.
And Ball State's defense is definitely stiffened. Northern now 1 for their last 8.
Teague likewise can shoot. Tajay Teague. Don't sleep on him.
He doesn't make them often, Joel, but he's capable.
Lauf is a great shooter. That one a little uncharacteristic. Here's Teague out running.
Well, earlier, Joel, we talked about the transition defense, playing with fire. You're starting to see it take its toll. Look at the Toledo Rockets trailing. Teague ahead of everyone.
Got to reward the big man when he runs the floor.
Man, what a dime by Taylor Persons, threading the needle with a bounce pass from about 20 feet.
That ties the game back up. We were tied at 0. We were tied at 51. We are tied at 63. Taylor with no double team on House. Then Kiapwe. They get a travel. Francis Kiapwe on the reach-in. I think he thought he was called for the foul initially. But a big turnover, and Ball State may be starting to feel some momentum.
And that was great defense by Franco House, walling up. He anticipated the move to the middle, and clearly Taylor dragged his pivot foot.
Persons calling out the screen, gets himself to the rack, and his team is in front again.
Yeah, Lauf is just getting held up on those screens, and the bigs not quick enough to slide over and stop the dribble penetration. That has been the Achilles heel for the Toledo defense tonight.
It's an intentional setup by Ball State. They want Lauf off of Persons.
And look, there is no secret here. I mean, this is clear it out. Try to see if you can get it to Taylor on the block. That's turnovers in a row now.
Stayed in bounds, too. Teague will shoot if you let him. And hit him. Timeout, Todd Kowalczyk. Tajay Teague, second three of the night, and Ball State up 5. Ball State in front, its largest lead, 68-63. Todd Kowalczyk called a timeout, David, heading into that last break. He was upset. He thought this ball went out of bounds. And then I don't think Toledo fully got back on defense, which led to Teague getting a look from 3.
Well, you can see, I mean, Taylor Person just blowing by the Toledo defenders. Transition defense, you said it was bound to catch up with you if you were allowing the Cardinals to get those threes in transition. That's exactly what happened there.
Taylor Person's 24 points, but also look at his assist line for the Cardinals today, 7 of them. The last one to Tajay Teague, give him 16 points, Peter.
And how about Tajay Teague, guys? 16 points, the most he's ever scored against a Division I opponent in just 10 minutes this evening. And when you talk to the coaching staff, they want Tajay Teague to be more aggressive offensively. You guys talked earlier about using, as a big guy, your redshirt year to really improve. He did that, especially with his shooting. They want him to shoot those outside shots when he's open, and he's taking them with confidence tonight, guys, and is having a career night.
Yeah, that's how you play in foul trouble, David. 4 fouls, 10 minutes, 16 points.
6 of 7 from the field.
And a swat, but they got a foul, and that is huge, David.
And it's going to be interesting. Did they get Teague with the block or somebody down low?
That's on Tajay Teague. Ball State has a 5-point lead, but that's a huge turn of the tide.